So I know I haven't made a video in a while, but the 244 is gone, sold. Made a nice hefty profit on it. Right now I am installing a central locking kit on the 242 here. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like 40-50 bucks. I'll have to check, but this is the one. Comes with all these nice wires. Got two remotes. They look like old Hyundai style from like 2005 to 12, I believe. So they're nice and unmarked. I guess that's where they would say Hyundai with the logo. Here's your receiver and antenna. Little rods to go to the actuators. Actuators themselves. Got some mounting hardware. And a diagram. So I'm going to try to wire one of these up to the trunk. I'm not sure how it's going to work because it has a trunk button, but I don't know trunk output. I don't know how it's going to work. I wonder if I can wire one of these up as a trunk specific actuator. I'll have to do some research. But connected to the parking lights and one of the horns so it'll beep when you honk it. And that's about it. But let me get this door panel the rest of the way off and see what we're working with. All right, excuse my rotten door panel, but I was trying to find a place to mount this actuator in here so that I could still do this, because the rod mounts on here and you slide the other rod through the bottom of it and it'll run pretty much in parallel with this rod. And I look down here and there's two holes that are already here that line up absolutely perfect. I don't know what happened there, kind of cut out on me, but there's two holes here that mount up absolutely perfect for this rod actuator to go in. And all I got to do now is run this rod, turn it up and connect it to here, and then get all my wires situated. So I think that's probably where the factory actuator would have gone, and this just happens to mount perfectly in those two holes. So you can see how that's working. Pretty badass. All right, I got the flash on here. I got the rod mounted. You can see here, this rod works like this. As I was saying, one rod slides through and then it bolts down, and the second rod slides in with two bolts to hold it in place. And you can see the actuator rod going down to, well, can you? There it is. That's gonna suck for you watching on YouTube, but you get the idea. And then it runs up here, connects to this one. So that's done. Just got to do the wiring portion of it. And then the passenger side. All right, got the wires all ran through. You can see here, nice and tidy, not hanging on the bottom. I vacuumed all this stuff out, but I zip tied it to hang right here to run along the side of it, just so it's not sitting down there in case any water collects there. It's not going to sit there and rot this away. So we're going to leave it hanging on the side. You see it goes up the side of the bottom there, up into here. That's my speaker wire, so don't mind that. But the other wires go on the side there and drop down nowhere near the window wires. Actually, I'm going to pull this on the side so my wires don't come out when the window rolls down. Well, we got both ran through here. I got it ran through that up here and got it plugged in, and I just tested it with my multimeter and just grounded it here and applied 12 volts and it unlocked. So that's good. Now that I know that works, I can hook up the power somewhere onto the fuse box and ground it somewhere, and then run my parking lights to the headlight switch. I believe it's gonna be a brown wire, which is gonna be this mode here, and that'll apply 12 volts when the doors unlock. So we'll do that. Chris is here. And then that's that. We'll run these other two over here and tuck the rest of these wires away, because I only need one red or one green and one blue, and we'll tuck the rest away. All right, we are officially done with one side. Got all the wires pulled down. I've got it tapped into the fuse box and grounded out where it's supposed to be. You can see here. That's good to go. One more side to do. What are you doing? All right, so I didn't really record the passenger side install just because it's the exact same as the front, just with less wires, and you just cross the wiring across the dashboard. But everything's done. As far as where I put everything, I hid the control box right here behind the vent. It's between the vent and this, just in a crack behind the dash. And I ran the antenna. I kind of attached it to, there was some kind of hook that I felt here on the pillar, and I hooked it around that against the body so the body can act as an antenna since the antennas are right here. So hopefully that'll help it with the range a little bit. I did that, ran the 2 wires for the passenger side along the door, same route as the speaker wires. What else? Tapped so the fuse box already had a label for central locking, which this car did not come with. You can see here, fuse number 8, central locking. So number 8 gets power whether the car is on or not. So that's the one I chose, and plus it already had central locking listed as an option, so I might as well put it on that one. I did that, and I put a ground right here. I just attached it. It's one of the little the dash frame bolts as the ground wire. So I mean, I didn't run it to the battery. I mean, because the wire for the power wire on the module already has a fuse on itself. So I just tapped into one of the wires that were on fuse number 8. So there's 2 fuses if anything goes wrong. But that's about it. I like it. Love it. I don't know what else I want to do. I'm probably going to do power window conversion pretty soon. I have another set of 242 doors here that I picked up for another car a long time ago. Those are, I think they're from a turbo because it's power locks, power windows, power mirrors. And I was going to pull the power locks and power mirrors out of here. Power mirrors out of this, or power windows out of these doors and put them in this door. But these doors sat at my buddy's house outside for a couple years, and I didn't want to have to deal with all the relays and shit and the factory wiring because there's like a whole slew of wiring. And this kit was $40, and it was pretty much plug and play minus a power and a ground, and that's it. As far as the power windows, I'm not going to bother with that because it's all rusted inside. I'm going to get a power conversion kit off eBay. I think they're like $80, and it pretty much just, it wraps around your crank handle and has a motor that goes down to it, and it spins a chain that spins the crank handle gear to roll the windows down. So I'm probably going to do that. And I don't know what else. This motor is coming out soon because the water pump started to leak on me. And instead of just doing the water pump, if I'm going to take the water pump off, I'm going to want to take the head off. And if I take the head off, I'm going to want to change all the gaskets. And if I change all the gaskets, I might as well just pull the motor out and refresh it. So I'm not even going to bother touching the water pump. I've been driving it the way it is, but it's coming out of the weep hole at the top like they do when they start to fail. It hasn't overheated yet, so I'm just going to keep driving it the way it is until it does. And when it overheats, I'll pull the motor out. Because now that the black car is gone, I am picking up my black G37 6-speed manual that I had a long time ago, buying that back tomorrow morning. Because the transmission went out on the guy, and he's selling me back to me for pretty much a fraction what I sold it to him for. So a new trans is like $2,000, but he doesn't know that, so that's good. And I'm just gonna install it myself or have someone else do it on the cheap. And if I want to sell that car again, I'll sell it, make another profit. But for now, this is gonna be the daily until the G37 is fixed. And I do have a slight hint as to what's coming as far as another 242 that does not run on Redblock power. And that's gonna be a whole another build on this channel. So I don't know when it's gonna come, maybe 3 months or so. If you can dissect that hint that I just gave you, do with that as you will. That's all I got for now.